So this is the Laetoli landscape, which is a significant World Heritage Site with 3.6 million years ago. And it is very famous and has attracted significant amount of scientists from across the world. So during the summer season, there are quite a number of scientists going to Laetoli to do research and identify and analyze some of the bones and lithic artifacts which significantly help us in understanding the human past. So today we are very happy that while visiting Laetoli, we encountered a number of scientists from across the world, and here are some of these scientists. On my right, there is Dr. Porad from Ireland Discovery Program, Professor Fidelis Masao from the University of Dar, Salaam, Professor Richard Bates from St. Andrews University, and Professor Martin Bates from Wales University. So all these together are working at Laetoli, this time trying to digitize some of the animal and bird footprints, try to save them before they get eroded because of climate change and rains and things like that. So we'll get some of the ideas. What do they think about protecting their sites and particularly digitizing them so that the future generation can have a soft copy of what the landscape looks like before we miss it? So I will get some ideas. Maybe I begin with Ted. What are your views about the footprints, right?
It's a significant, very fascinating area full of the traces of our ancestors, their footprints that walked across here over 3 million years ago, and all the animals they lived with at the same time. So this is so important internationally to understand who we are and where we came from. Why were we here? We need to find that out. The evidence is all around us here, and it's a really fascinating place.
Yeah, Professor Fidelis Masao from the University of Dar, Salaam. Tell us about the challenges facing the site and what can we do to protect it.
Thank you very much, Professor Chimbek. We all realize that climate change is very unpredictable, and the only thing that we could do to make sure that the heritage lasts for another 10 million years to go is to adopt a state-of-the-art documentation. And it seems to me that's the only thing that we can do as of now. So what is being done right now, for me, is the best way of documenting this heritage. Thank you, sir.
Professor Richard Bates, you have done research around the world working on significant historic and archaeological sites. What are your views about this particular site, especially in the context of how climate change is affecting it?
Yeah, so as a geophysicist, I can see how this landscape is changing by making digital recordings from the air with drones, on the ground surface, walking this with our digital instruments, and of course we're looking into the ground as well. So what we're trying to do is understand the change that's going on now, understand the change that's happened in the past, and by digitizing it we can protect the material that's here with this evidence of people from the past for future generations to be able to look at, even when it's been washed away and it's gone. It's the only way of preserving for the future.
And you, Professor Martin?
Yes, well, I think one of the things that's going to happen here is that more and more is going to be exposed. So it's not just about getting a record of today and tomorrow, but this has to be an ongoing monitoring process where these sorts of studies are repeated, because the climate change is a two-edged sword here. On the one hand, it's going to destroy things, but it'll expose things which we wouldn't see otherwise. And so it's going to give us more information in the long term, as long as this sort of exercise continues each year, each 2 years into the future, collecting new data and adding it to this great record that we've got already.
So as you have heard from professors and scientists from across the world, Laetoli is a significant heritage site which needs to be protected, and people must understand that we either save it now or we will have nothing to save in the future. And as we have heard from both of them, all the scientists, climate change is a serious challenge to the heritage sites. It's a serious challenge in terms of eroding the bones and the artifacts which we need to understand the past. So it is through digitizing these kind of materials we have that we provide evidence what existed in the past, what we have today, so that the future generation can have something to study and understand. Thank you very much, colleagues. Ted, I wish you all the best in the next field season. I hope you come up with interesting finds.